douchebag antics. I feel like that he was a representation of those guys. And he was a representation of one of them guys who be in the bar or wherever. Only guy, I ain't gonna even say bar because I don't even be in the bar. The gas station where you would see a nigga talking to a chick and the chick kind of avoid. No, I'm okay. Right. Bitch. You know what I'm saying? Now he did block the bitch she in. Now she can't get out. Like, bro,
doing weird shit. Yep.
Why you creeping the bitches out? I agree. Why are you here?
I agree. So
it's your freak hostess Jody, and you're tuned into Provocative.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
I will marry a nigga off some dick. Because everything else we can work on.
And I have sporadic periods of excessive masturbation. I really like how that just sounded. If I fuck you once and it's good, I'm gonna keep fucking you. Because I didn't start sucking dick until college.
Blew in that man's butthole. that shit is wicked. That shit is...
So, we are back with another episode of Skinemax with your girl, Jody, the provocative one, and
Precious with the perspective.
And today, we gonna hop right into it. We smoked already, as usual. We got snacks. I got actual food. Yeah. Actually, I went to Legends Chicken and Fish here in Chicago and got me a catfish combo with some mild sauce and hot sauce. So that's what I got to snack on today. What you got?
Delicious. I got some chips, cheddar, sour cream, cheddar Ruffles.
I love those.
Sour worms. Cupcakes.
Turtles!
Reese's, yeah. I feel like...
Did I tell you I love turtles?
Yeah, I feel like people fuck with turtles, but I feel like it's ladies. Like, I fuck with turtles, but like women, real life... It's a thing.
I love turtles. Yeah, like, it's a thing. Motherfucker give me just a bunch of turtles, I'll be so happy.
And donuts.
I used to have a turtle.
I did too. His name was T Herbo.
My turtle name was Yolanda.
Facts. That's a grown ass turtle. That's a mature ass turtle name.
So today we talking about Sausage Party, which I mean, we eating food. The movie is about food, but it's about like food fucking food. Yeah. Food fucking each other. And I think that's interesting because I know me, when I eat something real good, I moan a little bit, like I'm having sex, just a little bit, and like it be feeling like I'm having a foodgasm on my tongue, like. All the different flavors just kind of like have an orgy on my shit. I'm like,
nothing on your shit. That's crazy.
This is good. It's tasty. Of course, I want that. It's right there, buddy. Cause yeah, but let's go over like the plot. Right. So they basically had this idea of, okay, once we go to the great beyond, that's like the afterlife or what have you. They looked to the great beyond as the answer to all of like everything. It's like heaven. Yeah. And they were looking forward to it for a better life. And the main characters are Frank and Brenda. And then you got Frank is the hot dog, the sausage. Brenda Bunsen, she's the bun. Then his best friend Barry, who is a deformed hot dog. And then the other kind of like key players are the douche, Teresa Del Taco, the bagel,
Sammy
Bagel Jr.
On me, yeah, it was snapping.
And Lavash, the Lavash. Yeah. And I said Teresa Del Taco already. Little horny.
That's your girl, obviously. Because you had already named her twice.
Yeah. And then we have like Firewater, Twink, Mr. Grits, and then like the gods, which are the humans. So, yeah, those are the main characters. The story revolves around Frank and Brenda wanting to finally have sex, because when they go to the great beyond, it's not a sin.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on that?
So, this movie is so dope to me in general, just because it uses personification. It uses that idea of if food had a spirit, so to speak. It could walk, talk, all that different type of shit. And so again, the movie, and it tweaks me out now that I'm about to think about it. I don't know that all the food, but no, it had to be, because even thinking about the Lavage's reason for wanting to go to the great beyond was because of the 100 rubbing virgin oil on them and shit. Yeah. So now, because I was about to say, wow, I'm thinking about it, and were Frank and Brenda the only two whose reasoning for wanting to go to the great beyond was so that they can be together? But then I just thought about it, and it was like, nah, all the food kind of had its partners, you know what I'm saying? And that's one of the creative things that I liked about the movie, you know what I'm saying? Thinking about peanut butter and jelly and all the condiments, the mustard, ketchup, all that different type of shit, even the honey mustard type shit. And so I think that it was funny to see that stigma on sex translated into a whole nother just kind of aspect of life, so to speak. And like I say, and giving those inanimate objects the ability to personify themselves and kind of go through that idea of understanding what sex was like.
Exactly. So I definitely agree. It was definitely interesting to see how they brought in all the different cultures, the different religions, and they really gave these characteristics, these very human characteristics to food. But they also gave them human problems. Like people that are highly religious saying like, oh, I want to please the gods. I don't want to, sin and whatever. And then you have like, again, whatever you think is a better life waiting for you in the great beyond, in heaven or whatever, that is what we see. We see people that kind of, we see different cultures and different religions. Like, for example, wow, Brenda and Frank both was like, oh, for religious reasons we doing this. We see Teresa Del Taco that's like, oh, for religious reasons I'm not supposed to be a lesbian.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they made her a taco.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, what other food would give off like lesbian vibes?
Not fucking Bobo food. That is crazy.
Even the fact that they made Twinkie, like, that's a gay ass food.
It is. His ass was definitely, yeah.
And then like Mr. Grits, they funny as hell for making him black, but at the same time, I do love grits. I love grits. Black people love grits.
Grits are fucking delicious.
I mean, no, I'm not mad at it. It was funny making Firewater the original inhabitant of the story, because it's alcohol. But even the fact that it's called Firewater, that sounds like a very Native American ass name.
Me,
like it really do.
Sure. Yeah. And I think that like just overall in the movie, how they paired the items, you know what I'm saying? So going back to Frank and Brenda, you know what I'm saying? That's damn near one of the most iconic American partnerships that we know, nigga. What else is you putting your hot dog in? What else?
And it's set in the 4th of July
time
frame where everybody is shopping and cooking and barbecuing and all that.
Yeah. And I think that the fact that I appreciated the fact that niggas was cool with knowing that, hey, bro, I'm trying to get to the great beyond. to finally get up in, what do you say? Get all up
Get
in there.
Get all up in there.
Raw dog it. What is you talking about? Like, and I feel like how much I think it was I want to say lack of seriousness that made it still kind of like you felt his severity behind wanting to get in them buns for real. My boy Frank was on a mission, and it's fucked up because eventually I ain't gonna even say it got diverted because he got what he got at the end, but it came to the point where the nigga had to choose between himself. Who am I for real? Am I just trying to get in them buns? What are you talking about? He had to go on his own journey. You feel me? He had to imagine this chick getting slutted out by eggplants and toothpaste and all that shit. Like, just cause, hey, I feel like that idea of, hey, once you start having the sex.
Let's talk about the fact that they did just the tips.
Facts.
That is hilarious because, like, now, guy ain't never told me this, but like, just let me put the tip in.
I've heard this saying from from people talking about it.
Like, I've heard I've never been in a situation where a motherfucker like, let me just put the tip.
I wouldn't even lie to a bitch like that. I'm dropping whole. Like, I'm not putting the tip of nothing in.
I just lied. One guy.
Said nigga definitely tipped you.
And he did not just put the tip in.
Yeah, because niggas, you crazy. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, and it's crazy because that whatever. That the tip should be good. That's a good area. That's a no. I fell in.
You know, when you just put the tip in, that's technically called shallowing.
I've never heard this. Teach me something.
Yeah, so it's like a edging kind of like tease technique that you could use where you teasing your partner by only putting the tip in and pulling out, like tip in, out, like so it can get into like the kink kind of freaky shit that you can possibly do. And the first time I got shallowed, I squirted.
Facts. And I feel like that makes sense though in the space where it's like you are focusing on that same, you stimulating that same area. You feel me? So it's like after a while that build up. Yeah.
The excitement of it.
Turn the hose on.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, there's so much to do with like a vagina. Just like, okay, it's like, okay, yeah, you penetrated whatever, but you could really like play around there. It's really a little playground. So yeah, I'm not mad at the whole just the tip part, but that shit was funny watching their facial expressions, how they was like, like, you know, like,
yeah, I feel like it was like they touched on masturbation. That was like you said, a footsie or a fingering, even though like you said,
foreplay. It really was foreplay because
facts.
He was like, oh, I just can't wait any longer. I need to feel you. But just the tips, that is first of all, that is hilarious. Gold star. But I'm associating just the tips with like kind of like, again, like what they were literally doing, like they were fingering each other. Yeah. So yeah, kind of like footsies, but it's really like they were like mutually masturbating each other.
Exactly. And that's what I was about to say in regard to that, like, and like you said, that foreplay, that thing where it's like, I bet we know we can't fuck right now. You know what I'm saying? It's against the gods. It's against the rules, whatever the case may be. But we still, again, I feel like common theme that I'm constantly coming back to, that sex you not supposed to have. That you know, that because again, even with them just doing the tips, they knew them was the best tips they was ever gonna have. You feel me? That was the best. And I feel like in that space when you know, like, I bet we got to keep this on the low. We got to move. They ass and came to the edge of their packages and shit. And they damn near finger twiddling one another and shit. Like, niggas is crazy. Yeah. But I feel like the sexual tension and build up that they had throughout the movie, I could appreciate because it was like, it kind of gave a space where, again, and I can't say that for myself because I was going to say, I don't know that I was ever saving myself. Like,
I wasn't.
Like, yeah, like I don't remember a time where I was like, oh man, I gotta not do this for God. Like, nah, God put it here for me. God say be fruitful. And I ain't got down to the multiply yet, but I'm practicing with my fruits. What you talking about?
I mean, if Jesus died for my sins anyway, why can't I sin?
Yeah.
I feel like I got sin on credit.
That makes sense. And that's damn the MasterCard credit. That's damn near
ain't no limit.
Black card credit. You feel me? So I like the way you think. When you be thinking, how do you think? You feel me? But in that space, again, going back to that forbidden kind of lust. And that's what I feel like that's what the movie portrayed perfectly. You know what I'm saying? That idea that we all, and even them as food, you go through life lusting for things, like things that, again, this is food. You don't, obviously, you think sexually when you think food. But again, there are foodgasms, you feel me? There are people who do, like you say, them flavors.
They be dancing and
yeah,
shit.
you know what I'm saying? So in that regard, I get it. But I think that idea of lusting for something so much. Have you ever had one of those situations? Side note, spin conversation. Have you ever had something that you lusted, or a person that you lusted so much for that when you finally got it, it was meh?
Yes. Yes.
Talk about it.
So, like, I've had crushes, like, on, like, not a lot of crushes, but
crushes come a dime a dozen. I'll say that.
But,
like, yeah.
But also, it's like the crush don't last long because once I fuck, I don't have a crush.
Yeah, it's over. That's literally what a crush is. I feel like it's an inflow.
It's a crush till you crush. It's a crush till you crack.
Yeah.
After you crack, it's not a crush no more.
Yeah, it's crushed. What you talking about? Because you've cracked. Like, it's a wrap.
So I started dealing with the guy, whatever. We have sex, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool, but I still kind of like you, so it was like, all right, cool. But then once I was like, oh, like the kind of like the thrill of the sex kind of like wore off, and it wore off really quickly because the sex was not that good. It's just I liked you. So then I was like, do I really like this nigga for real?
Not enough to keep having me at sex.
Nope, definitely not that much.
Yeah.
Yep. But I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be good, and it was like, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That'd be unfortunate when you do, because I feel like sidetracking off of the sex in the movie. The Great Beyond turned out to be a complete fucking bust. You know what I'm saying? Like that was fucked up, but it ended up turning out to where's they made a way for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like all the foods end up still being happy in their version of the Great Beyond.
I mean, technically, the grocery store turned into the Great Beyond when they started killing. Now they killing the humans. Like they gotta go to war, and they like, now we just want to fuck.
And that's what I was about to say.
That's exactly what happened. Like they just like, all right, cool, I want to fuck.
And you think about, and this is like, you think about like, what is it? The baby boomers generation. I feel like that was something like right after the war, motherfuckers came back. I'm damn near dropping is no tips. All joint. What you talking about? Like, and I feel like after war, that sexual appetite was created, and in the movie they damn near showed that. So one of the characters, this nigga douche. Let's talk about him. Wild, and I love how appropriate they named, categorized, put these characters into, you know what I'm saying, who they were, type shit, in a space where the douche was just that, a fucking douchebag. He walked around real obnoxious, real kind of in his own world, you know what I'm saying, inconsiderate even, and his whole purpose was to get up in some cooch. I don't even know how douches work. What is a douche?
Okay, so it's you shoot that shit up your coochie and then it comes out. Like you put it in there. You know, like you got a water bottle and then like you go like this and then you squeeze it and it shoots up. That's
what is it shooting?
It's shooting into your
okay, right. Your vaginal canal to clean.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
What's shooting? Like, what is the liquid,
liquid?
or the serum? What is this pussy protein that they're placing?
Like, so pussy protein is crazy.
Oh, me.
But yeah, like what they call a cleaning solution. I don't douche.
Okay, facts.
I don't douche.
Talk about disclaimer.
I don't douche. There's still a generation that does douche. But that generation also believed in like, oh, put vinegar in your bath water and soak in it type shit, like to clean your vagina. Like,
why you putting all that stuff in there? Yeah, like I feel like that sounds crazy. I've never put shit in my dick hole. Like I never was like, I gotta clean this motherfucker.
You more likely to contract, like create some kind of like bacteria or infection by shooting shit in there than just like letting it clean itself.
Yeah. That's crazy. But my boy's whole purpose was to
get up in there.
You hear me? Was to get that nozzle into some coochie. And when my boy found out that he wasn't getting no coochie,
he went off the rail.
Devastated.
He went off the rail.
And you know what's so fucked up? That's real. I feel like douchebag antics. I feel like that he was a representation of those guys, and he was a representation of one of them guys who be in the bar or wherever. I ain't gonna even say bar because I don't even be in the bar. The gas station where you would see a nigga talking to a chick and the chick kind of avoid. No, I'm okay. Right. Bitch, you know what I'm saying? Now he did block the bitch she in. Now she can't get out. Like, bro,
doing weird shit. Yep.
Why you creeping the bitches out? I agree. Why are you here?
I agree. So his character was definitely interesting. They met like I said, he went off the rail. He ate out juice.
Sucked the juicy boxes.
Yeah, he's like, I just sucked juice dick. Like, bro, what?
It was crazy.
That was insane. Crazy. That was insane. It was a crazy movie. So throughout the whole thing, they kind of trying not to see him, but then when they find out, like, oh, it's my whole world has been turned upside down. What I thought was true is not true. Orgy, everybody. Like, there's nothing to hold them back now.
Right.
So now they doing everything they want to do, and that is insane.
Yeah.
Frank get used as a damn strap for
bagel bun
and lavash.
Yeah.
They having a crazy orgy. We see all different types of foods mixing, and like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Do you mix your food, show? Obviously you do. You eat fucking Butterfingers and hot flamings and shit. Weird ass food orgies you be having.
Yeah, flaming hots and cookies.
And Snickers and shit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. So yeah, I do. And sometimes it's more like, acceptable stuff. I guess like rice, chicken, and broccoli.
Some of it's a little vanilla, but then
I get real kinky and start eating M&Ms and Flaming Hots.
Wow, that's fuck.
But I told you before, spicy food and chocolate, like spicy and sweet go together.
Yeah, it's definitely that Mexican shit. What?
Okay, what else we want to talk about with this movie? What do we think that kinks were?
There was so many. And
we saw voyeurism, exhibitionism.
I feel like, and maybe
we see some BDSM stuff, but with the anal beads.
Yeah, like that ass was real freaky, like
freaky
overly
as hell.
Freaky. Fucking Taco, she really gave Dom for real. Like she wanted to be submissive to the Lord, but that spirit of her being a hard, horny taco
I'm a hard horny. I'm not a soft taco.
It was beating her.
I'm a hard horny taco. That shit was insane.
Me couldn't help it. I feel like, and like I said, I enjoyed the movie really because of that lust factor. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people, we should live with that on our back. And you got others who damn near act on it, thrive in it, move on it. And I think that's what the end of the movie was about. That orgy scene was about. Like, hey, let that shit go. We here. Let's do what we gonna do. What are you talking about?
I agree. I feel like once they weren't limited by their personal beliefs of what is, because what y'all thought is not what it is, they were able to feel liberated in that moment. So they don't care what's gay, what's straight, what, like, you got a hole, I'm stuffing it.
That sounds nuts.
But that's exactly what
you said that at me. But in that regard, and I almost know the answer to this, but I'm gonna still ask anyway. Why do you think sex is almost a direct result of any type of liberation? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Was asking after I tried chewing this turtle.
Oh me, that bitch thick as hell, ain't it? Okay, facts. As long as it wasn't just me, because you ate the whole thing. Yeah, big mouth ass, because I was not on that. I had it, and that bitch little, but I definitely had to bite a piece, because, the whole one is nuts, Joe, but hey. I've seen your classes. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all good.
For sure. Damn, their washing machine in there.
Swish, swish.
Sick as fuck.
Oh, man. That's hilarious. I want another one. I'm going to go get some more turtles. I'm going to get some turtles because Tiana don't like turtles. And I love that for me.
I'm fucking them bitches up every chance you get.
All right. So, I think it's because at that moment, you really think about what's the most pleasurable things to your body. When you're not consumed with your soul, your like the things right or
wrong, like moral standards and shit. You start to think about
you focus on your
gratification,
and it's like the instant like pleasure of that. Because outside of sex, there's other things that like it's all about being touched on. Like even if you touch softly, I was talking to Terry about this yesterday. If I touch your forearm, only to whereas I'm like grazing
it. I do that to myself all the time. It's really public masturbation for real. I really be outside just getting that or sliding across my face or just a little. So
that's the thing. But that's all about our body, and that even gives you a sexual response. Your body is in arousal, right?
For sure.
Is in an aroused state. So I think when you're able to, like the first step outside of like that those limiting beliefs and thoughts is to focus in and be present in your body. What feels good to your body? Orgasms.
Damn, just thinking. Look, I can't even stop smiling. Just thinking about busting a good nut.
Yeah, like that should be different. Like I masturbated yesterday around noon.
Talking about a nice little high.
Yeah, like I was like I'm ready to go do the dishes. Like I'm
talking about anything you say, Jody.
Yeah, like this just gave me a little boost, that I needed. So I like it. I like focusing in on my body and being present with my body. A lot of people don't know how to like sit with themselves. They don't know what's pleasurable to themselves. They don't masturbate. They don't watch porn. They don't do things that feel good to their body. Because I don't watch a lot of porn, But also, I record myself fucking, so I just rewatch my own videos. That's still porn. It's still the exact same, you know.
And better because
it's better.
You can also remember what you felt in that moment. Kind of pull that back to where you are. Your senses are, like you said, heightened in that space of arousal. So that definitely makes more sense.
I had a period of time where I would masturbate to the thought of the possibility of sex with a certain person. Because if I actually had sex with you, I know what the outcome is, so I don't want to masturbate to that. I want to masturbate to the possibilities. So it's always with somebody I've never had sex with. Because there's no benchmark. I don't know how it's going to go. So I could create
that makes
however sense. The fuck it'll go.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah, so I was doing that for a little period of time, like just like imagining me having sex with a certain person, and I'm like, this is never gonna happen. And if it does happen, I'm not gonna masturbate to the thought of you no more because now it's like I know how this movie ends. But what do you think was the most interesting part of the movie? Like for me, what I liked was, even though I've seen this movie a couple times at this point, I'm like, I always get that like, what the fuck? It's like
it's so random.
Yeah, like, and it's funny. Like he talked about like, at the beginning of the movie when Barry was like, was it Barry or was it what was their other friend?
I can't remember. It was a hot dog in a package.
Was a hot dog in a package. Either way, he was like, I don't understand why you limiting yourself to one bun.
One bun, oh me. I believe in
I'm a monogamous. I believe in monogamy. I'm a monogamous.
It's crazy.
That is fucking hilarious. But it gets into like the difference between being like, you know, monogamous or non.
What were the quotes about? What was the monogamous? Because is it not just monogamous? No quotes. Like
people don't be monogamous. They be fucking lying.
That's a fact. That's a fucking fact. And I hate it for society.
They don't like because again, now you're allowing these limiting thoughts and beliefs to make you less happy. Like when nobody's sad in that orgy.
Yeah.
Nobody was
looked amazing. Actually.
Yeah, nobody was sad there. So you got to think about like, all right, cool. What are your limiting beliefs versus your liberating beliefs? What is going to bring you like pleasure and happiness for the characters in this movie? It was fucking. And I'm not mad at that because that's my type of party.
But I was about to say, I feel like now
because that be the answer. That be the answer to a lot of my problems. Is fucking
90. Like if it's not financial, you feel me? More than likely,
it's food and fucking.
Some type of sex can solve whatever. If it's not financial, if somebody's not dying, or you know what I'm saying, like you're struggling, and even I feel like.
If you're struggling mentally, sex, if you can get out of your head long enough to be aroused, sex releases serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine. It triggers dopamine. Like there are
coochie clears sinuses. I found that out recently. No bullshit. Like, yeah. So I feel like sex be the answer.
Yeah,
like, especially. You ladies with the lady parts, like, yeah.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Semen has zinc in it, and it got different vitamins. Yeah. It got melatonin in it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm always happy after I suck dick.
I'm always happy after getting dick sucked.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what? This is crazy.
I be so happy to be there. I think that's why somebody that like deals with me, but not just deal with me because I don't have sex with everybody I deal with. But if you deal with me and we're having sex, you love it here. You love it here because I dick worship.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I dick worship. I give really good hand jobs, and then I like.
That's hard to come by from ladies. Like, I don't know that ladies like know this, but like,
I was having
you're not doing it right.
I was having a conversation. I was saying like, bro, you can't beat his dick better than him. He been with that motherfucker his whole life.
I didn't.
And the thing with that is, that's why I'm gonna do a whole totally different episode on that. Maybe you could engineer it because. Or be on it. I don't know. But so I don't know too many women that like if they gonna give you a hand job, they actually pull out some kind of lubricant. They just be like,
but they I've had
or
and grab my dick. And granted, that works for some hands. I'm not gonna lie. My own personal hand, it's a nice hand. So I can do what I do. Bitch, you been driving and
yeah.
Oh nah, bitch, your hands it's a little.
Yeah. So
it's soft,
yeah. So it's like, all right, cool. You dry doing it, or you spitting, which ain't better because it like look. Imagine spitting.
Had a bitch spit in her hand and grab like I feel like
or spit on the dick and then do it.
You spit on my. The only way there should be spit on my dick is if your mouth follows. Like, there's no way you just finna spit on my dick and grab it with your hand, or spit in your hand and grab my dick. Because it's like,
oh my God.
I ain't gonna start. Like, outside of sex, I'm not gonna say I'm a germaphobe, but I'm definitely easily grossed out. So, bitch, if you just. I'm gonna be like, this bitch just spit cold.
Okay, well, if she lick her hand and do it.
I hated how you just did that. Yeah, I think maybe that's the lights gotta be out. This gotta be maybe, a move set.
Do you? How often do you have sex with the lights out? Because maybe it happened already. You just didn't know.
Nah, I noticed it. Bitch, line. Because again, I don't because of not terrible experiences, but not the best experience. I know the way you initially grab joint is going to let me know if your hands is allowed to touch my dick. Cause after that first introduction, if you two, only thing that coochie and mouth. That's all I need from you. I don't need your hands, your feet, none of that shit. I just need your lips. Fuck you talking about.
I'm a freaky motherfucker, so I be like.
And I'm sure you're probably prepared for that.
And that's the thing. The more you know, the more you know.
Yeah.
I literally educate myself consistently on sex. And because I have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to it, like, I think that's what, that paired with how happy I am to be here. Like, when I fuck a motherfucker, I'm like, oh my God, I'm just so happy to be here. Like,
because again, I feel like what we said, and going back to the movie, after they realized there's no great beyond, the limitations on that, you said it dope though. You said limits and liberations.
You either have liberating beliefs or limiting beliefs.
Yeah, and I feel like in that space, once sexually, because I think that's what sex is. Sex is a release, literally, you know what I'm saying? So when you're able to do so, why not be in a space of gratitude, like you said, worship, even almost like, man, I'm thrilled to be here. I could be anywhere in the world, but I'm damn near between some buns. So that's all my nigga Frank wanted, was to get in between them buns. Raw dog it.
Get all up in there. And that's what, even in the song at the beginning of the movie, they was like, once we get to the great beyond, it's not a sin for us to let you slip it in.
Oh, man.
And he was, then they was like, in other words, we finally get to fuck
and feel
right.
And
the buzz was like, and love and hug and feel, and they kept saying and fuck.
Oh,
that shit was hilarious. Like, just in terms of like how men view, like, all right, cool, like, yeah, it's a sin, but I'm down to fuck. And they was like, yeah, it's a sin. I want to like come rub on me.
I want to do it for the love of it.
Exactly.
And the romance of
that
it.
shit
Niggas
was
is like. Fuck.
Yeah, as long as I get up in there, I don't care for real. So that shit was funny. How they talked about it was funny. When Teresa Del Taco, She was just so fucking funny. She was like, I have strong feelings for you. Crotch feelings.
Shorty.
Crotch feelings.
I gotta tell a bitch that.
I gotta tell a motherfucker that too.
Baby.
Because look. I want to tell somebody that within the next week, I gotta tell somebody, like, I have strong feelings for you. Crotch feelings. I have strong feelings in my crotch for you.
Yeah.
Like,
you would definitely get away with it before me, but I think I'm gonna still try it. What you talking about?
Yeah, like, I feel like anybody who has watched Sausage Party would appreciate that.
But I'm not gonna lie, having never seen that movie, the right woman comes up to me and tells me, like, oh my God, I got crotch feelings for you. I'm gonna be like, yeah, can I feel it? Like, let's share those feelings. Like, can we share those feelings? Like, I might share the same.
Right. Like you, me, same. The fuck?
The fuck?
Funny as hell. Oh, man. I've never had an orgy. That's been on my 2024, like, bucket list. But I've never had an orgy because, yeah.
I've never been in an orgy. I don't know.
How many threesomes have you had?
I've not had a threesome. I've never had a threesome. Yeah.
You gotta come to that play party.
Facts. Yeah. I've never had a threesome. Never had an orgy. Or been part of an orgy. And I don't like, and this maybe sound like shallow, whatever.
I didn't have my first threesome until I was 30.
Facts. Yeah, there's still time for sure. Like, yeah, I'm not dying or anything.
You can have a threesome before the month out.
Yeah, I was about to say, birthday's coming up.
Right.
Like, you talking about, like
you
can definitely pitch for one.
Yeah.
But
you deserve it.
I do. Thank you. God, what the fuck I was gonna say? You just fucked me up. I do. But I think that in the space of anything like that, like you said, that the liberation is clear. Orgies, threesomes, whatever. Like understanding that, hey, we're all here, hopefully, for one reason, and that reason is pleasure. Whether and it was a mix in the food orgy. It was a mix of what those different pleasures looked like: penetration, masturbation, kind of that. I think the bagel was fucking. I don't even want to emulate
eating ass.
Yeah,
the bagel lift up his flap, ass cheeks.
Yeah,
did that. Hell. He Frank blowing in Brenda like a fucking trombone. Like I'm like they wow. But also, like, it makes me think about the type of shit that I eat when I'm happy. Because I be mixing shit and I be doing, like, weird shit when I'm high. Like, one time I used some, like, hamburger buns to make French toast. And crazy. That shit was so fucking good because it's...
That bread's soft and fluffy and shit.
And it soaked up the
egg and shit.
Real good. It was amazing. So, yes.
I'm mad at that, actually.
Like, I on some hash shit. I'm like, I'm finna use these hamburger buns.
What you got? What you talking about? Like,
yeah, it was after the 4th of July. We had extra buns and shit like that. I was high. I'm like, all right, cool.
Talking about French toast is bread.
French toast is bread. Like, French toast is motherfucking bread. So that's exactly what I did. And just other, like, and food be so much better when you have to. So it's clear that they was high when they created this fucking movie because they even made highness a thing in the movie. Like, it was bath salts though. I ain't never did bath salts.
But they was getting high too, I think. What was that?
They was smoking weed. The
fire water, grits, and
they was like,
you want to hit this on me?
Yeah. So they definitely was. They was. So not mad. Like, I just really can appreciate how they took real life and really personified the food. That shit was interesting. Twinkie was gay. Twinkie couldn't have been no other sexuality. Twinkie that's
talking
some
about
gay
that's
shit.
a gay name, actually. Like
Twink, that shit was gay. That shit was so gay.
And then I wonder though if like
but I loved it
Twinkie
so much.
Become, like gay, or was that just like when somebody first said Twinkie, niggas was like, that sound like it could.
I don't know. Like I don't eat Twinkies.
Facts.
I don't really care for stuff with cream filling.
I like cupcakes.
So I typically take the filling out and then I eat the bread.
That's nuts. What are you taking out with? Your finger? Wow. You talking about just a little scoop? Facts. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel
like this would be crazy.
That'd be nuts. That would be nuts.
What is it about the No, G.
That's because it's aggressive.
Yeah, it is aggressive.
This index finger is mad aggressive.
It is mad aggressive.
It's next to the middle finger.
Yeah, like, and then you don't want that. It's all extra freaky for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, just
come here.
Right. I'll just, I take it. That just feels
That's crazy.
I feel like that feels
I'm
better.
not mad at that. I don't like gushers and shit like that.
I like gushers.
Of course you do.
I like gushers.
You say I don't like standing substances, but a shooting substance, a squirting substance, I'm not upset with that. No, I hate that shit. That shit. Even though I know it's something in there, I be blue anytime I eat something. Anytime I eat something that do that, and I don't know, because if I know, I'm not eating that shit.
Right.
I'd eat that. Boy, you would have thought a motherfucker shot me in my mouth.
That is fucking hilarious.
Call somebody. This is not right. Whoever designed that, they ass freaky as hell. Because why the fuck do you want some shit squirting in your mouth? You're crazy.
I was just in a candy aisle yesterday when I was at the grocery store, and I thought about getting some gushers.
Oh, man.
But when I thought about the gushers, I was only going to eat the gushers if I was about to suck some dick. Like in my head, I was like, "Ooh, do I want to get like a fruit roll up and then like roll it around his dick and then like lick it off, or do I want to get some gushers and bite it so that the gusher part kind of come out and like put it over there and then like lick it off?"
Not drizzle on his dick. That's crazy. Bitch, don't gush on my dick. That's crazy. Man, just eat this dick. You not have to, the fruit roll up, I'm not mad at. The gushers, even though I'm not eating them, I'm still like, stop that. Cut that out.
Or maybe I just bite into it and then like, no, but it's like, I don't want to like choke on the like actual gusher. Try to stuff dick in my throat.
Yes. Leave the gushers out of it.
Okay. So fruit roll ups. Okay. Fruit by the foot.
Yeah.
No, I'll do the fruit roll up. I'll put like 3 of them and make a little dick mold.
However you choose. You feel me?
But that's where my brain goes. That is, all I'm doing is grocery shopping, and I can't even look at fruit roll-ups without like, I could suck some dick with these.
I eat fruit roll-ups regular. I just happen to enjoy fruit roll-ups sometimes.
Oh man, this is hilarious. What I'm trying to see, what else do we need to talk about with this one?
We talked about the kinks. We talked about the scenes. We talked about the plot and the people, characters.
We talked about if we had similar sex. You ain't had a threesome. I ain't had an orgy. Because they did threesomes, orgies. I guess they did regular sex. Yeah. Remember at the first beginning, it was like, hungry ass. And then he slid up in her. Yeah, so yeah, we definitely saw some oral. We saw some oral. I've ate vagina.
Me too.
Yeah, like dude was like, she was like, yeah, it's time for dinner. I'm over here jerking off with these guys. That shit was insane. I've never been in that type of situation where like, I'm eating a chick out and like people watch it. Like, but that might change in the near future. I might have more similar sex stories as this movie in the future. I don't know. We'll see. There's a couple play parties in my future, so yeah. Looking forward to that. But I think we covered everything.
That's a fact.
So of course you guys can tune in to Provocative on all of the streaming sites, as well as YouTube having video, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify all having video, audio on all other platforms. And follow me on Instagram, JODYPRHOE, because that's where I post about every fucking thing. So whether it be podcast, sex coaching related, me related, I post there. But yeah, that's all I got.
For sure. And be sure to check anything out I got going on at Precious Gods, PRECIOUSGODZ. And that's it for me.
All right, we'll see y'all later. Bye.
Peace.
Before you go, I want to remind you to embrace your inner hoe. Thank you for tuning in to Provocative, and don't forget to follow us on all streaming platforms. Happy hoeing. PRHOEDOCATIVE. Spell with the word hoe, because deep down, we all got some hoe in us. And this is your safe space to be unapologetically provocative.
Oh, is my growl too masculine?
You put the nigga in missionary and you the moment.
What the fuck?
That shit is wild.